Hey guys, welcome to Tasty Thursday. This is something I've been wanting to do for a while. Not drink wine, but have this little class. If you know me, you know I really enjoy cooking, and so I think I'm not a great cook, but what I am is not afraid to try different recipes. And this is a nice little Campo Viejo Rioja from Spain, like $6 at Publix. So, I love Italian food, right? And I love pasta, but when you're eating a low carb diet, pasta can be a challenge because pasta is all processed. It basically all is hyperglycemic, which means it turns to sugar really quickly. So it's not the best low carb option, right? So zucchinis is a great, way to enjoy noodle-like food and texture and complexity. Without sacrificing the carbs. So you got super low carbs here. So I have one of these cool little fancy, I think they call, veggie swirlers or something like that. You don't really need something like this. You actually can just take a zucchini and cut it flat, cut it lengthwise flat. And then what people do is you take a peeler, right? So you would peel layers. And then as you peel the layers, you can cut it into thin spaghetti kind of slices. So you don't need one of these fancy gadgets to get to the thing. But what you don't want is the seeds in the middle. So if you're using a peeler, you stop at the middle, you turn it to the other side, and you peel the other side. While I'm talking, I'm just getting the frying pan going. So with this cool thing, you just kind of, lock it. Okay, so if you can see here, Jeremy on this side, I got a nice cameraman with me today. And it's coring the middle, and the middle is where the seeds are, so this is really cool. It's 2 steps in one. And as you can see, one zucchini is going to really give you a nice amount of noodle-like pasta. I bought 4 zucchinis. We're feeding 4 people here today. So I'm thinking like 1 per person, but we may not need that much. This is pretty cool. So here's just 1 zucchini. I've got about a quarter bowl, maybe almost a half a bowl, and it's a large bowl. So we'll start with this other one that we have here. Let's cut a little bit more. Okay. So this is super easy, obviously. It takes a little longer if you have to do it the way I told you, cutting it lengthwise. But here's 2 zucchinis. There's a lot of noodles here, so I'm just gonna do 1 more. If we have some leftovers, that's always good. You can bring it tomorrow for lunch. So we're gonna go for 1 more real quick. So this has taken me all of what, 5 minutes maybe? And here's the reason I'm doing this zucchini is I wanted pasta, right? And we want something low carb. But I had last night I made some ground beef, right? So I have this nice leftover ground beef. And I figured, well, I didn't want to make the whole rice and beans thing. And I wanted something, like I said, keto friendly, healthy, low carb. So we went with the noodles. Now here's how easy this is. I have a frying pan going here. It's already kind of hot. You're gonna put it in completely dry like this. And you wanna hear that sizzle. That means my frying pan was already nice and hot. I had it going for a few minutes. So it's pretty high heat. This is obviously a non-stick pan. So you want to, don't let it burn. We're flipping it around here, just kind of folding it and letting it kind of almost toast a little bit evenly. You want to do this for 2 minutes, so it's only been about a minute. Keep it nice and high. All right, while we're doing that, take a little sip of wine. The zucchini itself already has a lot of water, so that's why it's sizzling. You don't really have to be afraid of it drying out too quickly, but you do want to, again, give it another fold. There's a lot here. It's taking up the whole frying pan, so obviously if you don't fold it, the top part isn't getting quite the sear that the bottom part is. Leave it high. Okay, we're going to go for another minute here. Bring over my ground beef. Yeah, show me for a minute. I am gonna throw some traditional pasta in there. I have barilla, I have roasted garlic. I think I'm gonna go with roasted garlic. So looking at the back of this, 7 grams of sugar, and a serving is half a cup. So not too bad. Some of these things have 30, 40 grams of sugar. So you definitely want to look at the back of the tomato sauce because you want to stay away from something that's high sugar, especially when we're doing a low carb, meal. All right, so it's been about 2 minutes. You could see the water kind of coming out of it. But just like noodles and pasta, they need to kind of boil a little bit. So we're gonna go ahead and now add just about a quarter cup of water, not too much water, and kind of really get that. We want the water to boil, to get to almost a light boil. While that's doing that, we're gonna add some salt. So I have some nice Himalayan pink salt here. With this is low sodium salt. If you haven't used Himalayan pink salt, it still gives it salty flavor, but it's low sodium, so it's a little healthier for you, especially if you have high blood pressure. But salt is good for you guys. Don't get it twisted. Salt in your diet is not a bad thing. Everything we do in moderation. I'm always throwing some pepper in here. Now this part is about 7 minutes. So I'll do some of that. Give it a little fold again. Spread it out as evenly as you can. I'll throw a little more in here. I love me some pepper. People are afraid of pepper. It doesn't make it hot. It just brings out the flavor in it. Same thing with the salt. So while that's doing that, I'm going to chop up some quick garlic. So I want it to be as garlicky as possible. Not as, not super duper, but we're going for an Italian, meat sauce. Probably should have had this part done already, but no big deal. Take a couple seconds. Okay. You got there's only 4 here, but they're pretty good size. We're going for a nice mince. When you mince it up like this, the juice of the garlic really comes out. And we're just going to drop this in here. Let it soak up that nice garlic flavor. And just because we really want to also make it kind of a little thicker, I got this great Kerrygold garlic and herb butter. I love this stuff. It's like, I swear by this stuff. So it's already seasoned, obviously. There's more garlic in there. We're just going to drop that in, about a tablespoon. And give it a little stir. So 6:38, 6:40. It's been about 3 minutes. We're going to give about another 4 minutes. But you can see right away when the noodles kind of start to get translucent, That's when this thing is done. You don't want to overdo it. If you like al dente noodles and a little bit, you know, undercooked, you would take it out now. These are coming, yeah, all of a sudden that smell hits you, that delicious garlic. So yeah, these are coming off pretty nice. I might not leave them in much longer. I don't like them too soft that they fall apart. And you know, just look at this. It just looks exactly like spaghetti. So you can see the darker green and the lighter green. We want it all to kind of just be a little bit lighter. All right, we're just gonna give it like 2 more minutes. Get another sip. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna drain it and I'm gonna put it right back in this pot, and then we're gonna just throw the meat sauce and the meat in and the sauce and just kind of let it all blend together nicely. So it's definitely, you know, again, nice and soft, cooked through. We don't want to overcook it. I'm gonna drain it real quick. Leave it for a minute. All right, in here I'm gonna drop the meat sauce. I have about 2 cups here. Now obviously this was already cooked from last night. We're just kind of warming it up. And then I'm gonna go with the garlic sauce. Lower the temperature at this point to like a medium low. Again, it's cooked already. We just want the meat to get the nice flavor from the sauce right now. All right, so go with the heat, and now I'm gonna just drop the noodles in. You can see that. And just kind of let this come together. Separate it. I'd say we probably have meat to zucchini ratio a little bit high on the meat here. I don't know if anyone complains about having too much meat, but you know, depending on how you do like it, you might want to slowly introduce the meat and then just kind of make sure that you have a more equal ratio. But we're going to let this warm up just a little bit more, and then I'll plate it and we'll give it a try. So we got some guys hanging on to each other here. Just trying to spread it apart so that it's more evenly distributed. A sip of wine. Did you catch the shirt, by the way? Fork University. Don't get it. So we started this a long time ago, me and my son. We got to get it going again. It's done. This thing is done. You can keep the camera there. I'm gonna plate it for a second. You can see what it looks like. This is really a guilt-free, you know, low carb, delicious, tasty dinner. I mean, look at this. Look at these noodles. After we plate it, you know, you could definitely just put a little touch of pepper on top. If you have some Parmesan cheese, which we do, I believe we do. The crumbled one finished. So anyway, a little Parmesan cheese, whatever you most desire. Give it a little taste. The noodles are still nice and crunchy. So I mean, I love it like that. They're definitely not undercooked at all. So we're talking about 5 minutes. But I did let the first part in this frying pan a little longer than the 2 minutes, so that's probably why I didn't need to put it in the water part, the second part as long. Let me turn this off. But there you have it, zucchini with a little bit of meat sauce. We did it, well, the meat was already done. The zucchini took all of 7 minutes. Hope you liked it. Come back next week for Tasty Thursdays. Thanks, guys. God bless.